Good morning and welcome to RHI, our weekly video series where you get to learn stories about courage, hope, attitude, and inspiration. And RHI is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, Wilson Kehoe Winningham. My name is Sharon and I work here at the foundation here at RHI. And today we have a guest, Abbey Plawecki. Thank you so much for coming, Abbey.
Thanks
I really
for having me.
appreciate it. Can you just explain to our audience here, what do you do here at RHI?
Sure. I'm a physical therapist. I work primarily on the stroke team on Unit 3. So I work with stroke patients on the inpatient side, but I also work in the research lab, in the walking lab with Dr. Hornby. And so I see stroke, spinal cord injury, and brain injury patients on an outpatient setting and doing high intensity gait training.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes.
Can you just explain to people what kind of education do you have to become a PT?
For PT school, it is a graduate level degree. I have a master's degree in physical therapy, but students going through now will get a doctorate degree. So they do their 3 to 4 levels undergrad, and then they do 3 years graduate school.
So it's pretty intense. Well, the reason why we invited you here today is because we got word that you just recently got an extra certification. So aside from all the education you've already done for PT, because you're working so much with stroke patients, we view that as a brain injury. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so this extra certification you got is through ACBIS. Did I say that right? Okay. Can you just explain a little bit what all that is and what that means?
Sure. The CBIS is Certified Brain Injury Specialist, and so it's a certification. It's a test that you take to just become a little bit more specialized in working with and treating brain injury patients. And as you said, a stroke is a type of brain injury, just not traumatic brain injury. So in order to qualify for the test, you have to have a certain number of hours treating patients with brain injuries. And then you have to apply to take the test. It's a pretty rigorous study schedule. I think I started studying in October. They give you a textbook to read, and then we did a 1.5-day course reviewing all the material, and then we took the test.
Okay, wow. So it's pretty intense.
Yes.
And you passed your test,
Yes,
so
yes.
you are officially certified,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does this certification do for you as a physical therapist?
So I learned a lot during the course, during the review, and during the study. A lot of this I had during PT school, but that was a while ago. And you learn so much. You learn treating different populations in PT school, and so this was really focused on brain injury specifically. It was a good review for the areas in the brain, and when you have a brain injury, what area is affected and how that affects your behavior and your mobility and things like that. It was also a good review on how to treat these patients, in their different stages of recovery, the best way to deal with them, the best way to make their therapy beneficial and effective and meaningful to them. And so I thought it was a really good process, a really good review for me, and I feel more confident now working with these patients and really trying to provide the best treatment for them.
Okay. I mean, you just kind of touched on that a little bit. So do you feel like when you're working with your patients, they're going to have a bigger benefit when you're working with someone with a brain injury, a stroke, because of this course you took?
Definitely. We reviewed, again, the different treatment techniques that work well for patients with different types of brain injuries, different areas of the brain that were injured, and again, what stages they were in their recovery. So if someone's fairly early on, or if they have a very severe injury, what works for them in therapy might not work well for somebody who's a little bit more mobile, and things like that.
Okay. I think this is very exciting. One of the things that I want to point out is one of the reasons why so many of our staff are able to get this certification is because the foundation is helping cover the cost. Otherwise, this would be a very difficult thing to do, and it helps set RHI aside as well, as being one of the few institutions in the country, but I believe, am I correct, in the state with the percentage of staff that we currently have that are certified?
I think so.
So it really just sets us apart once again, and being able to be better at what we do in our patient care, because that's what this is all about. We want to see our patients succeed, and so that's just something I think is very exciting, is to see how the foundation it can help make this happen. So is there anything else you want to say about the program? Someone who may be thinking about doing this, what would you say?
I just want to point out that it's a certification that you can take as a physical therapist, but we had occupational therapists take it, speech therapists, nurses. There's research staff going through the training and taking it. Our nursing techs have taken it, and another group is going through in March to do the same thing.
Which is exciting, very exciting. So you had quite a diverse group of people in your course.
Yep.
That's great. I'm trying to remember, you had mentioned before we got on camera how much work you did ahead of time before the course even started. You said you had a pretty big textbook that you had to go through.
Yep. They recommend that you read the textbook. I also had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, so I started studying probably the end of September, beginning of October, and then took the test beginning of December.
So really the time commitment is similar to what like a college semester would be like. So, well, good. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And as you can see, when you donate to the foundation, really amazing things happen here at the hospital. And so you'll see that there's a link included with this post. If you want to help support some more staff to be able to go through this training, just click on the link and you'll be able to donate to the foundation. Thank you very much.